What's going on, everyone? Alrighty, so Dragon Ball Super has just licensed toys in the United States. Bandai Toys just licensed Dragon Ball Super for some toys that are going to be coming out in stores, everyday stores. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure they're going to be inside of Walmarts, inside of Targets, etc. Which is really cool because, wow, talk about, the 2000s again, the early 2000s and even late 90s. Like, wow, Dragon Ball toys in stores again. But anyway, clearly what this is telling me is that they're going to be marketing this towards kids like they used to before. This new series, which tells me that a dub is definitely on the way, but this is telling me that they're going to be marketing it towards kids. Well, we do know that Adult Swim currently has Dragon Ball Kai. And, they still haven't even gotten to the Boo arc yet. They haven't even finished the Cell arc at the time of this recording. So I don't think that they'll be seeing Dragon Ball Super anytime soon. However, they have already licensed toys. So my theory, or my assumption, is while Adult Swim and Toonami are airing Dragon Ball Z Kai, the Boo Saga, whenever that comes out, while that's airing, it's my assumption that Dragon Ball Super is also going to be airing at the same time, but not on Adult Swim. It's going to be airing on a network that is very kid-oriented. But here's the topic of the video. Where would Dragon Ball Super air? So you have mainly two options: Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Cartoon Network has a huge past with the Dragon Ball franchise. If Dragon Ball Z never landed on Cartoon Network, it would not be as popular as it was today, because this is actually something that's not very well known. Dragon Ball Z aired in 1996 on Fox, I believe. I believe it aired on Fox, and it was not popular, at all. But then Cartoon Network picked it up on their Toonami block, and that's when it got popular, is when Cartoon Network picked it up. And then they've had a long-running history with Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. Cartoon Network had it all. And then, of course, you had Jim Samples resigning, which led to Toonami's cancellation, which led to almost no anime on the network. Then here comes 2009. Dragon Ball Z Kai comes out on the air. And there are numerous articles and there are numerous interviews with voice actors who have said that Funimation, they tried contacting Cartoon Network on numerous occasions to pick up Dragon Ball Z Kai. Cartoon Network turned down Funimation on picking up Dragon Ball Z Kai every single time. So that is why Funimation went over to Nickelodeon and aired it on Nicktoons. And funnily enough, Cartoon Network probably kicked themselves in the rear, because when Dragon Ball Z Kai aired on Nicktoons and Nickelodeon, I remember when the ratings came out, Dragon Ball Z Kai was getting higher ratings than anything Nickelodeon had seen. Nickelodeon's highest rated show, especially on Nicktoons, was Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was their highest rated show. Every time it was on, it always got high ratings. Dragon Ball Z Kai, they premiered that. It blew Avatar: The Last Airbender's ratings out of the freaking water. Dragon Ball Z Kai had insane ratings. It was super popular. There's a whole bunch of new kids that ended up getting into the series. And so Cartoon Network, I'm sure, kicked themselves into the butt for that, because Funimation went to them first, because they've had a history together, Funimation and Cartoon Network. They've had a history. And then Funimation goes to Adult Swim or maybe Adult Swim went to Funimation, whichever, and Adult Swim picks up Dragon Ball Z Kai and starts airing the uncut dub on Toonami, which Adult Swim is the sister channel of Cartoon Network, yes, but I'm pretty sure that the operations there, that they're allowed to operate freely, like, that, they're not under one huge mind. Like, the people who said no at Cartoon Network are not the same people that said yes at Adult Swim. Like, they're not the same people. And I do believe that Dragon Ball Super will air on Toonami, on Adult Swim, soon. But I don't think it's going to air until after they're done airing the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z Kai. Because that's just how they are, I guess. But, I mean, considering we're already going to be seeing a toy line of Dragon Ball Super, that all that's telling me is that we're super close, no pun intended, on seeing a release of the English version, and that it's going to be oriented towards kids. It's going to be aimed towards kids. At least it's going to have a TV dub. Like, there's going to be a TV dub, and then when the Blu-rays come out, there's going to be the uncut dub. And then after Toonami is done airing the Dragon Ball Z Kai Buu Saga, is when they're going to air the Blu-ray uncut dub on Toonami. But who do you guys think will get it? Do you guys think that Cartoon Network will license Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Super will air on Cartoon Network? Or do you think it'll be on Nicktoons, where Dragon Ball Z Kai was? Honestly, I think Nicktoons, like, the minute that license gets up, Nicktoons is going to be, a freaking 40-year-old mom, on a shopping spree the day before Christmas, dude. That's going to be Nicktoons, tearing up every single other person just to get that one action figure where it's the last one left. Oh, yeah. That's going to be Nicktoons. When the license comes up for Dragon Ball Z Kai. Or do you? I would love this idea. I would really love this idea. Considering we're seeing toys, I think that Toonami should stay at Adult Swim, but it should have like a sub part. Like, I think that Toonami should be on Cartoon Network again, as well as Adult Swim. But for, an hour, 2 hours maybe. I don't know. I think that would be a good idea, because Toonami originally was not to just introduce the West to or to introduce the US to anime, but it was also it was supposed to introduce kids to anime too, and that's a demographic that the Adult Swim Toonami is unfortunately alienating. There's so many parents out there, at least back in my day. I don't know about today. There's a lot of parents that don't really care about anything about what their kids do anymore. But back in my day, I couldn't watch Adult Swim because it was for adults. They even said, hey, it's Adult Swim, get out of the water. When they used to have those old promos. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I couldn't do that back in the day. I couldn't watch Adult Swim. So there's a demographic I believe that they're alienating here by not having kids have access to anime. And considering they're getting a toy line, I think it would be such a nostalgic throwback to the late 90s and early 2000s, where Toonami and Dragon Ball Z were huge. So imagine Toonami being back on Cartoon Network with another brand new Dragon Ball franchise, with a toy line that's going to be in stores, following by, who knows, t-shirts, backpacks, lunchboxes. This thing could be huge, But in my honest opinion, as much as I would love it for it to be on Cartoon Network, because in my honest opinion, considering Funimation and Cartoon Network's history, and especially Cartoon Network's history with Dragon Ball Z specifically, that's where it belongs. It belongs on Cartoon Network, because that's where it's been. That's where Dragon Ball aired, that's where Dragon Ball Z aired, and that's where Dragon Ball GT aired. Honestly, if a new Dragon Ball series is going to come out, Dragon Ball Super, I think it deserves to air on Cartoon Network. But then again, I think Nicktoons will probably treat it better because of given Cartoon Network's track record. And honestly, I think Nicktoons is probably going to be the one who gets it, honestly. Like I said, Nicktoons is going to be, they'd easily give up an arm and a leg for the license, I think, considering how popular it was for them. I don't know. Anyways, guys, comment down below. Who would you guys like to have the license, be it Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon? And who do you guys think is going to get the license? Those are two different things. There's who do you want to have it, but at the end of the day, who do you think is going to get it? I would love Cartoon Network to have it, but at the end of the day, I think Nicktoons and Nickelodeon, I think that they liked what they experienced. I think that they, had something and they liked what they had, and they don't want to give it up. So we'll see. We'll see. It might not even air on a kids network because we do have Adult Swim and Toonami with those licenses. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it will air on a kids network. Anyways, yeah, comment down below, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.